So welcome to our first paint and sip. Today I'm doing the spring bunny from our April box. And it's a really fun, easy project and pretty easy to follow along. What I may end up doing is including like a more advanced project in the boxes and then an easier project depending on people's preferences. And if you don't have the box and you'd like to follow along, you're welcome to. You can also email me at hello@missologist.com and I would be glad to send you this outline for free, and then you can, follow along with our painting. Since this is supposed to be a paint and sip, I'm not actually going to be drinking a cocktail right now because it's 10:45 in the morning where I am, and my stomach's a little weird right now. But if you are doing the paint and sip, I would highly recommend drinking our Mango Mimosa from the April box with this project because, it's a very Easter, April, spring project, and that is a very April, spring, drink. Obviously, you can have whatever drink you want to accompany this, but that would be my recommendation. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I taped down my outline, and I'm going to now transfer my outline using graphite paper onto my my watercolor paper. So, and you'll want to press lightly because you don't want the outline to show too much on the watercolor paper. So, yeah, and you can always pick it up and check while you're doing it to make sure that you're doing it in a light way. And as you can see, I'm not too concerned about following it precisely. But the point is to just get the basic shape onto the paper so that you know what to paint. But this isn't a very intricate outline, so I'm not that worried about getting everything perfect. Okay, so now that bunny is hopefully on my paper. No, he's not. Oh my god, I think I had the wrong side of the graphite down. Okay, well, that happens to even seasoned artists. Yeah, so I just did that. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. And, again, just press pretty lightly. Unless you really want to, you really want to see the outline, in which case, don't. But I personally have pressed hard in the past and didn't really like the fact that I could see the outline so much, so I tend to press lightly. Okay, so I'm just going over this again because I did not actually have my graphite paper facing the right direction the first time. And if you're new to graphite paper and you're using it and you got it in the box, make sure the shiny side is down so that it will actually transfer. Okay, cool. So that did transfer. Now the only issue is that I must have pressed it, so I do have a bit of graphite down at the bottom there, but honestly I'm not mad about it. So but if you don't want that, just be careful when you do your tracing that you don't, accidentally press a spot or something. Okay. Oh, and I should mention that if you're new to watercolor, you want to have the more textured side of your watercolor. That's the part you want to paint on, not the smooth side. As you can see, yeah, I have a few graphite spots here. And that's okay. It's fine. I can always cover it up, put something in the background, or not, you know. But since I'm not that concerned about it, I'm probably not going to do anything. Okay, so the colors I'm using for this project, and if you got our box, you got regular like pan, you know, watercolor paints. So I also have those, but I actually prefer using liquid watercolors most of the time, and so that's what I'm going to be using. And the colors I'm going to be using are yellow, lemon yellow. So if you have like a yellow, that works. Azure blue, okay. Fuchsia, so like a pink, and then emerald green, which is like a really bright green. But again, you don't have to use the exact colors. You don't have to use liquid watercolors. You can really do whatever you want. You don't even have to paint it the same way I do. It's yours. It's your project. So, you know, have fun with it. Do what you want to do. Let me just make sure my brush is clean. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put in a field around here, okay? So what I'm going to do is take some green and put it on my palette. Ooh. Okay, assuming it wants to come out. Sometimes this happens. Yeah. Okay, hold on one sec. I'm going to run this under hot water because that should help loosen up the paint that is apparently dried at the top. Okay, so coming out now. No, I'm going to cut the tip off then. Okay. 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 Alright. So the other option, if your paint is acting up like mine is, you can either try to, you know, stick it with something or run it under hot water, or, you know, just cut off the top, which is what I did. I just cut off the tip. And that's okay too. Okay, so I'm going to take some green and some blue. Actually, I'm just going to put all 4 colors on my palette right now. Because I'm going to need them all. And I'm going to do some mixing here. So, okay. And some yellow. And some fuchsia. Now, you can't see my palette, but I will move it so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's my palette right now, and it has all 4 colors on it, so you can see that. So now emerald green, at least the green I'm using, is very, very bright. So I'll kind of show you. And so for the field part, you're going to want to water down your whatever color you're using a lot, like water it down so it's lighter. The reason being that we're going to be putting stuff over this field, and if the color is too dark, whatever you put over will not show. And you can do whatever you want. You do not have to do what I'm doing, but I am going to put, sorry, somebody scared me. Okay, I'm going to put like green at the bottom, you know, in like wide strips right now. And again, don't have to do what I'm doing, and also don't have to do the colors that I'm doing, you know, in the order I'm doing. It's yours, so have fun with it. But I'm gonna spread it out a bit with some water and just put like a green strip down here. Oh, and you'll want to do it vertically, because that sort of, you know, shows that it's like a vertical plane, it's a field. Additionally, your vertical stripes should be bigger at the bottom of the bunny and get smaller as you go, because that basically creates like the idea of a field, if that makes sense. It draws your eye that way and makes it look further away. Okay, having said that, now we're going to put other colors down here, okay? We're going to put purple, pink, blue, well, not blue, sorry, yellow, and what you want to avoid is putting the pink too close to the green, and the reason is because it will turn brown. So I would highly recommend, like, you know, getting your yellow, yeah, maybe putting some of that, you know, next to the green or whatever. But again, you can have a muddy part. It's not the end of the world. But if you don't want a brown spot, then I recommend separating the green and the pink. Now I'm going to actually make some purple. So I'm going to take some blue, and I'm going to take some fuchsia. I'm going to mix them. It's pretty, yeah, that's a pretty purple. Okay. And then I'm going to dilute my purple. Okay. And I'm going to put a tiny bit of that down here. Just because it's pretty. And again, if your colors mix, that's okay. It's not the end of the world to have some purple in your green, or what have you. So, but you want to have fun. You want to have fun with this. Okay, I'm also going to probably mix up an orange color with some yellow and pink. Let me grab the one with, okay. Like a bit of an orange color, just because, you know, why not? And I'm going to, you know, dilute that. I'm going to put some orange in here. Probably like, and again, you can make your stripes like different. Oops, I went over a bit, but that's okay. You can make your stripes like a different, you know, different widths, different whatever. But remember that as you get higher, you're going to want to make them thinner. So here, I'll show you. So I'll take my green, and I'm going to go up here. To about where I'm going to end up stopping anyway. And I'm going to make my stripes smaller and thinner. Okay, so it can be a little bit bigger here because that's like a medium spot. And it can obviously be biggest right here. But you just want to make sure that, you know, you're not messing with the perspective too much. And I am going over, guys, and it's fine. I don't care. But, oh, and I'm using around 6. It doesn't really matter what brush you use, but that's my preference. Another thing I recommend doing is taking the yellow and mixing it with the green so that you get kind of a nice yellow-green color. You know, that's kind of fun. You can also mix the green with the blue and get like a more, See, I'm just totally messing this up in terms of going over, but it's okay because somewhere there's a bunny with a hinky chest. Okay, so I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset. Okay, so the other, like I said, the other thing you can do is take blue and mix that with green and get like a really gorgeous, you know, pretty green color. But you are, again, gonna want to dilute that because you don't want it to interfere with the stuff you're gonna lay down later. But see how pretty that is, and you can just like put it here or wherever you want, and you know, up here a little bit, or again, you do you. I'm going to take just some pink, like fuchsia, and dilute it and put that like I don't know, maybe here or something. And, you know, here and here. And then, let's see, take some more purple, and maybe put that like here. And, you know, again, if you overlap a bit and you get some brown, it's not the end of the world. It may seem sad to you, but it's not the end of the world. Let's see, what else can I do? You know, put some green here, I guess. And it is bleeding a bit, but it's really fine. And see it, so I'm getting kind of a brown color right there. But you know, fields have brown in them, so it's okay if that happens. In fact, I actually might add some pink to this, just to my green, just so I kind of get a brown color, because I think it might be nice to mix it up a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna actually put, oops, hair caught in my brush. Okay, I'm gonna actually purposefully put some like brown in, you know, just to mix it up. Okay, and again, yeah, it's gonna spread. It's just what happens. It's, you know, gonna mix with the other colors, and that's okay. Okay, now I think I'm just gonna take some water and try to kind of spread out some of my, well, assuming it works, I'm gonna try to spread out some of my color with just water instead of laying more down. And you can leave some white spaces too, you know, that's also fine. If you don't want to fill up your entire field, leave some white. So, okay. So now what we're gonna do, because this is around the place where I want to stop with my field, I'm just gonna do this so that it looks a bit more. Okay. Anyway, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do the sky. And this is pretty cool what we're gonna do. So I'm going to take my blue, and you can switch to a smaller brush if that makes you more comfortable. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to do this because I want to. Okay, and you're gonna just sort of outline the top of the ear. Okay, and then you're gonna rinse your brush, and just using water, you're gonna spread that blue down. Okay, you're gonna have to work a little fast here because of what we're doing, but don't worry if you don't. You can always add more water. Okay, so we're just gonna spread this all the way down, actually. Okay, because you're gonna be putting mountains in, so it really doesn't matter if your sky is goes all the way down. But if you don't want it to mix with your field because your field is still a bit wet, then I recommend like stopping a little bit above your field. But don't worry too much if it you know, goes down that far. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper towel that I have, and I'm going to just like lift some color up. Okay, this is kind of why you have to work fast, because if you don't, the color will absorb and you won't really be able to see. I may have waited a bit too long, and that's okay. Another thing you can do actually is, if you're like me and you waited a bit too long, you can take your brush and put some water on it and then just like lift color that way. Okay, so just lift some color off. Just lift some color, And what that does is that will sort of create like a kind of a cloud looking aspect to this, yeah. So I actually like the way it looks up here, but I'm going to lift a little bit. And the advantage of the paper towel is that it does make it look a bit more natural, because as you can see when I lift it with the brush, you know, I can't make it look quite as natural. But again, that's okay. So now what I'm going to do actually is take some blue and put it around this cloud up here. And I'm just doing that because I want it to show that that part's lighter a bit more, you know. Create more of a contrast here. And you don't have to do that everywhere, I'm just doing it here. And then I'm going to take my brush and just blend it out. So that it's not quite so obvious. Okay. Where the edges are. Okay. So, see how that kind of makes the cloud look more, and you can continue blending it out if you want to, but I'm not too concerned. Okay. So now we gotta let it dry a bit. And then once it's dry, I'm going to start putting in the mountains and more of the details in the field. And yeah, my field looks a little weird, but it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, just find something fun to do for a few minutes, or eat breakfast or whatever. This should dry pretty quickly, but I just want to sometimes I'm impatient and I start painting and it's not dry, so. Okay, hi, welcome back. I was just letting mine dry a bit. Oh, hopefully that's still in frame. Okay, so now, what I'm going to do, and yes, I know this looks very strange, but that happens a lot with watercolor paintings. They look really strange until they come together all of a sudden and you're like, what? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to use that purple I mixed up earlier, but I'm going to use a darker version of it. And I'm going to kind of make a mountain line or whatever. You know, just put a mountain in. And so you're going to want, and you can like, you know, do whatever you want. You can put this in and then take water and like make it lighter at the bottom, you know, put more color in, or whatever, like do what you want. Again, there are no rules. So I'm going to just like, you know, spread this out with my, dang it, I keep getting hairs in here, because my cats like to walk on this table even though they're not supposed to, and so sometimes I end up with hair in my paintings. Okay, so we're just gonna like spread that out, you know. And if you're not totally confident with using a big brush, because as you'll see, I'll probably mess up and, you know, go outside the lines. And if that's happening to you and you're not happy with that, just use a smaller brush for this part. Okay, so yeah, spreading the purple out, you know. I think I'll drop some more over here. I'm going to drop some more up here so that we've got more of a solid top part, so that the colors, you know. Whoop, See what I mean? I already went over. But you know what? It's okay. Because it's just a painting and it's just paper, so that's okay. Anyway, and now what I'm going to do actually is take my round 2 and go in here and just add some, like, you know, mountainy peak things so that it you know, doesn't look so even, because it's nature and nothing in nature is even. Okay, so, you know, just add some whatevers here and there. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to add some purple over here. I want this part to be a little bit darker. But you can do whatever you want. You don't even have to make it purple. You can do whatever you want. It is your painting. Okay. Maybe just put some here so that it's a little more outlined. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the mountains. And I love this kind of stuff, you know, the blooms that you get from watercolor and everything. So, okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is the fun part. We're going to start putting in details in the field, okay? And it's just kind of fun. Oh, and also if you want, you can go back and, like, make this darker. Because, like, I'm actually going to go back up here and make the sky a little bit darker because I want a bit more contrast up here as well. So I'm going to go back in and add some darkness. And then I'm going to take my brush and just kind of, you know, spread this out a little bit so it doesn't look too weird. And add some darkness. And then I'm going to take my brush and just kind of, you know, spread this out a little bit so it doesn't look too weird. Yeah, and it might, you know, dry a little. Whenever you put colors down at different times, you're gonna get blooms, and that's just normal. And again, I really like blooms. I think they're really pretty, and they're kind of what, you know, set watercolor apart from other mediums. But oh, I guess, yeah, actually that is something you can do too, is just drop water on there after the fact, and it will create really cool textures. See? So that's also something you can do if you want to make your sky more interesting. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some grass and some flowers, and yeah. So let me think. I think I'll just take the emerald green as it is and see what it looks like down here. Now, the ones that are closer to you, meaning the stripes that are closer to you, when you put in grass and flowers, you're going to want to make it bigger than the ones back here because those are further away. Yeah, so they're going to be smaller and less detailed. But the ones up here, you will actually see. And so you can, you know, make them bigger and, you know, more detailed or whatever. Okay, yeah, so I really like the way the emerald green looks. And another thing I'm going to do actually is, like, make them kind of face different directions because, like, you know, it makes them more interesting. And yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. just having fun with this. But if you want other colors, like let's say, say you want some like more of a muddy color, muddy green, take some of the red, add it to your green. You get like a muddy sort of green brown color. And then you can also, you know, put that in if you want to. And I'm going outside. Again, I don't really care, but just, yeah. That's just something too. And like that may be a little big actually for as far back as it is, but it's just a painting. Okay, so the cool thing about flowers is that you can really just do little circles, essentially. Like, the flowers do not have to be very detailed, is what I'm basically saying. And so that is actually like a nice thing about flowers. Okay, so I'm going to mix up a bit more purple, and I'm going to put in some sort of like kind of lavendery things here. And again, you don't have to do this, you can do whatever you want, but essentially it's just like little things, and they get narrower as they go up. Yeah, so, and just, you know, make sure you're not making them too even or whatever, because things in nature are not even. So, but our brains like to make everything symmetrical. So just something to be aware of, that when you're doing natural things, you're going to want to sort of say to yourself, no, 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 don't do that. Don't make everything look symmetrical or whatever, what have you. Okay, now I'm going to put some stems in here. Just going down there for my little lavender things. Let's see. Alright, now I'll probably put some flowers in. So I'm going to take some, oh shit, sorry, I just did something, flicked my paint on the side of my pan, may have gotten it on the carpet, but oh well. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of my pink and put in some flowers. Now, again, remember, these are further away, so it's going to be small, like, you know, like that. Small things that you can't really see any details. And as you get further away with this, I'll show you. As you get further away, like up here, you're really not going to see anything. So you're just going to like put little lines in, essentially, like, and those are your flowers. You know, have fun with this. Do what you want to do. Put little clusters of flowers wherever you want. It's your painting. So, let's see. I'm going to put some orange flowers in too. Yeah, a little too much paint. Yeah, so I'm just going to put some orange in. And again, just like clumps of flowers, you know, no details or anything, just clumps. Okay. And let's see. We could put in yellow ones. We can put in like, you can put in anything you want. You can put in more lavender if you want, which I think I might actually do. Like some more lavender back here, like really small, really tiny lavender back here. Yeah, and then, you know, more grass. You can put in more grass. You can use your darker green color, or, you know, mix a new green, whatever you want. And you can, like, stick in some more, you know, some more grass. Make sure you put it in different directions or whatever. So, stick some more in here. Whatever. Put some more things anywhere you want. Okay. But basically, we're just putting in these small details into our field to make it more fun, springy. So yeah, that's essentially what you do. If you want to put something way back there, you know, or something somewhere else because you feel like more is needed, that's totally fine as well. Sorry, there's some people in the hallway, I guess. Anyway, I'm just putting some more color in here actually because I want the orange to show a little more. But yeah, that's essentially your spring bunny for you, your spring rabbit. Again, if, you know, I got some graphite outside, I may actually go in and put some background in. And you can feel free to brighten up colors. Like if it didn't come out dark enough for you or bright enough for you, you know, feel free to do brighter colors. And I mean, again, this is your painting. Do what you want. Have fun. Don't worry about it. And if you screw up, it's a piece of paper. Throw it away. Do it again. I've screwed up many times, and I just throw things away. Anyway, this is Paint and Sip with Missologist. And if you enjoy this and want to see more, you know, let me know. But we'll also be doing our May one. Our May one is a jar of tulips, which is perfect for Mother's Day. I'm going to try and do that earlier. And I did this one just because Mother's Day is coming up very quickly, and some people may want to do that project for their mothers or do it with their mothers or whatever. So watch out for that. And if you have suggestions or ideas for other paintings we should do, let me know. And again, you don't have to do what I did. You can make it specific to what state you're in. So if you're in California and you want to do a field of poppies, or you're in Oregon and you want to do, you know, fir trees or whatever, do what you want. But hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, cheers.